On to Monterey County, supervisors declared a state of emergency after last week's major fire at the Vistra battery plant in Moss Landing. Today's special meeting gave updates on the fire and ongoing response. And Wilson Walker reports while the fire has burned itself out, there's still a lot of questions from both local leaders and neighbors about what is next.
This was in the beginning. This was from my boat.
Josh Contreras looked out of his houseboat to see a ball of fire on the horizon.
I walked up the docks and then I took more photos of it because you could see the flames freaking probably almost as tall as the towers that stand here.
And now that the fire is out, he, like many others in this area, is thinking about what comes next here.
And if they do battery packs, they should keep it in more deserted areas.
This technology is ahead of government's ability to regulate it and industry's ability to control it.
The Monterey County Board of Supervisors was asking similar questions at an emergency meeting on the fire. A representative from Vistra said they are just now getting access to the burned out lithium battery facility, but at least one supervisor said that the fire was enough to draw this conclusion.
This battery storage is essential for the future, and that's the direction we're going. But as I said last night, and I've tried to emphasize, we just can't put that above safety. That's got to be the priority at this point.
Unfortunately, we're on a pretty steep learning curve with battery safety still, and we're still figuring out ways that these batteries catch on fire. We're still figuring out how to best suppress them.
Dustin Mulvaney is a professor of environmental sciences at San Jose State University, and he says the fire will be a wake-up call for the entire industry, right down to the people who insure these batteries. And a lot of people will want to know what went wrong and where in a plant that is a hodgepodge of battery technology.
That site is actually an example of different ways to design it because it was built in different phases. They took advantage of different opportunities to put things in different places. And this example, I think, will cause the industry to reflect on how they've built these things because they have to be better neighbors to the community.
And then there is the community reflecting on what it means to have this plant as a neighbor.
Yeah, I don't think you should be out in the desert, like somewhere in Nevada, out in the desert somewhere where people aren't around. Like, why do you put it where people live in this beautiful area by the ocean?
There is one local street running alongside the plant that remains closed, but otherwise things have returned to normal here. The parks and the beaches have reopened. The county says it's going to be doing some water quality testing this week, but they say that the water quality is not as high a concern as the air quality was during the fire.